For 10 agonizing years, I kept a heavy, suffocating secret buried deep inside my conscience to protect my neighborhood's favorite family. But watching her cry on my porch tonight made me realize that my silence was the biggest betrayal of all. I looked out my kitchen window and saw my next-door neighbor digging in his backyard at 3 in the morning, holding the exact same vintage leather suitcase my sister went missing with a decade ago. 10 years ago, my older sister Clara vanished without a trace. The police searched everywhere, but the case went cold. Distraught and broken, my family eventually moved away, but I stayed behind. I bought a small house right down the street, unable to let go of the neighborhood where I last saw her. Mr. Abernathy, a retired school teacher and the neighborhood's most beloved grandfather figure, was the only one who constantly checked in on me. He brought me home-cooked meals and kept my lawn pristine. He was my rock. I trusted him completely. But then, the town announced a new massive drainage pipeline project that would cut directly through our adjacent backyards. The digging was scheduled to begin on Monday morning. That was yesterday. Last night, a severe thunderstorm hit our town. I couldn't sleep, so I went downstairs to make some tea. As lightning flashed, illuminating the entire backyard, I saw a lone figure out in the torrential rain. It was Mr. Abernathy. He was 70 years old, soaking wet, and frantically shoveling dirt behind his old tool shed. My heart began to race. I grabbed a flashlight, threw on a raincoat, and slipped out my back door. I hid behind the bushes, watching him struggle to pull a heavy, dirt-caked object from the ground. When the flashlight beam caught it, I froze. It was a faded, tan leather suitcase with brass buckles, a unique custom piece our father had gifted Clara for her graduation. I stepped out from the shadows, the rain stinging my face. "Mr. Abernathy?" I whispered. He whipped around, dropping the shovel. His usual warm, grandfatherly face twisted into an expression of pure, unadulterated terror. He looked at me, then down at the suitcase, his chest heaving. "I'm sorry," he wept, collapsing onto his knees in the mud. "I didn't mean to keep it this long. I wanted to tell you. I was just so scared. I thought he was going to confess to a horrific crime. I thought my sister was inside that box." With shaking hands, I stepped forward and forced the rusted buckles open. But inside, there were no remains. There were hundreds of handwritten letters, all addressed to me, dating back over the last 10 years. Clara hadn't been hurt. She had run away from our abusive father a decade ago. Mr. Abernathy had helped her escape in the middle of the night. She had sent every single letter to his address, begging him to hand them to me when I was safe, but he had kept them hidden, terrified our father would track her down through me. I sat in the mud, clutching a decade's worth of my sister's handwriting against my chest. She was alive. She had a family of her own now. Mr. Abernathy reached out a trembling, mud-stained hand. "I waited too long to give them to you. I was just trying to protect her. He spent 10 years keeping her safe from our past, but he starved me of her future. Drop it if you would forgive him for keeping the secret."